Welcome to the Best You 2022 Virtual Women's Summit. This is Marty Swedberg. I am your summit host as well as a missions ministry mentor, and I'm so delighted to welcome you here. Be sure to download your summit schedule so you don't miss anything today while we're live. Also, you can go back and catch anything later and grab your free swag gifts. They're all available, over $1,500 worth of gifts from our speakers, the speakers that we have right now during our summer summit, as well as those from earlier summits. You can catch them all over at bestu2022.com right at the homepage there. Take a moment and invite a friend to join you because we are live right now on YouTube. And right now I'm excited to welcome Hannah Conway with Marketing Not Mania. Does social media and marketing cause you anxiety? This session is going to help equip you with tools to win in the world of media and marketing without the stress. Our guest right now is Hannah Conway. She is a social media marketing and communications coordinator and a women's ministry director. She's a best-selling author, speaker, and has a podcast called What's Your Story with Hannah and Stephanie. Right now, I'm excited to welcome Hannah to the platform. Welcome, Hannah.
Hey everyone, it is so nice to be here with you, and let's go ahead and get started. 1 second, let's go back to the top. It is great to be with you today, and we're talking about a topic that I could literally talk about all day long, marketing social media. It's just really exciting to me. If you get a chance, hop on over and connect with me at different social channels. I hang out mostly on Instagram, so I'd love to see you there, or catch up with us on our podcast, What's Your Story with Hannah and Stephanie. You will love Steph. We are real women who invite other women on with real faith and real stories, and love to just have you over there. So many ladies that I talk with are like, social media marketing, what do we do? My answer to them is have a strategy. And we don't want to just be emailing blindly and cold calling or just posting our advertisements everywhere all the time. Because let's face it, that's annoying and it sounds salesy and pushy, and we don't want that. Ultimately, marketing really is the ultimate customer service. So whether you are like me and you are in, full-time ministry, or you're writing books like I am, or you have a small business, or you are advertising for whatever, it's ultimately about the customer, about the person listening or reading or buying. We're there to serve them. And I love that. Who doesn't want to serve others? It's great. It really is about connecting with our customer, but we have to think about things like, what do we communicate? When do we communicate? How do we communicate? And on what platforms? And there does seem to be a slight learning curve, and that's okay. Social media does change often, and that's okay. We're constantly learning and growing. So I do not claim to be an expert, but what I do know, I will share with you, and hopefully you're able to kind of tame this beast of media marketing, learn some few pointers that work for you and what you're trying to do. And I'm excited. Also, this is a ton of information. This is information that literally could be taught for weeks. So if you feel that this is a ton of information, it is. And I want to encourage you not to be overwhelmed. You can go back and watch this video. You can start doing your own research, but take a minute, breathe. It's going to be all right. Okay. So we're going to talk about developing a social marketing strategy, how to create content that engages your audience, and some tactic, tips, and tricks that are going to nourish social algorithms, because y'all, those change all of the time. The thing I want you to just take away, goodness, so many takeaways, but if I can't say this enough, the best ways to market. The number one way to market is word of mouth. It just has been, and it just is, and it'll continue to be that. It's friends telling friends about the product that they bought or the book that they read. It's those recommendations. And so once upon a time, that literally was word of mouth, like face to face. Now we can call that yes to that, but it's also reviews, right? Recommendations, and those can be put on social media and platforms. So that's a blending of this, right? This social media and then this word of mouth. So we're kind of doing all of it. So word of mouth is the number one best way to market. You want people to talk about your product or what you're offering and recommend it. The second best way to market, believe it or not, is email. That might just kind of blow your mind. When I first heard that, I thought, no way, because my email, my inbox gets so cluttered. But here's the truth. We don't give our emails out unless it's someone that we want information from, right? And so if you can start emailing people then and they want to hear from you, then you're going to get a better response. So email remains the second best way to market. And then third, there is some debate over this one. I'm not here to debate this. I'm just here to offer information for you. And maybe we can just do a culmination of all the things, right? The third best way to market is social media and or text messaging. That seems to be a big thing. Personally, while I do subscribe to some text messages from companies, I don't want to receive text messages, when my favorite author sends a book out or on a new ice cream flavor that's coming out. Like, I feel like I get enough text messages. But anyway, word of mouth, email, social media, and text are the best ways to market. So keep that in mind as we're going through today. And I am going to keep track of my timer over here to make sure we're doing good. So developing that social strategy, it's literally writing down your plan. And I'm giving you a few questions to kind of help you get started. So think of, the industry that you're in, what you are doing, what you're offering, and consider these questions. If you have paper, take a moment, answer these questions, screenshot this, go back and answer these questions. So who are you trying to reach? This is your ideal customer. We could spend an entire hour or more just talking about this, but this really is taking a moment and brainstorming who is the person that you are serving. What age are they for the most part? And you get to decide this, right? Who are you wanting to reach with your product? So for me in author world, I know that my audience is like 30s to 45. And so I know that I can see the data. And that's who I'm going to focus on. If you're like, Hannah, I want to advertise to everyone. I hear you. I do too. But we want to focus in on who is that person. So I'm also in church world, right? So who is my audience? Who's coming? How do we want to present things to them? So I have to kind of consider that as well. So who are you trying to reach? There are some people who will go into like literally how old are they? Where do they shop? What are their favorite foods? And it helps you kind of get an idea of who you are trying to reach, right? What message do you want to get to them? And this is the problem that you're solving for them or the value that you're offering. So I have books, right? I want to be able to entertain my readers or inspire my readers. So that is the value that I'm offering them. The podcast, we're offering inspiration for the faith journey, right? In church world, we're offering hope through Jesus. That's what we're doing. And so think about what is it you're doing and how are you offering value or solving some kind of a problem, and you've got the solution for it. And how are you going to reach them? And you're like, oh, I already know I'm on all these things. Well, write it down. It helps you clarify what you're doing. Your website. Okay. That's how you're reaching people. How are you promoting that website? Is that email, social media? So write down the ways that you are going to reach these people. Now, I am assuming that all of you already have a website and we're going there. So your website acts as your home base. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. Everything that you're doing on media for marketing it points to that home base, your website. You might be using Facebook as your website, and that's okay. I'm not here to argue that one way or the other, but things are going to be directing, whatever you're posting, whatever you're doing is going to be directing back to that home base. So now that you have written down these answers and you kind of have an idea, you're going to choose your communication channels. So you're going to choose them. And I recommend 3. Your website that you're using is your home base. All right. All communication is going to go back to that home base. And why are we doing that? We ultimately want their email. We want that to start building that email mailing list. And we want that because that's the second best way to communicate, right? So we don't own any of the social media platforms. No, we don't own Facebook, we don't own TikTok, we don't own Instagram, we don't own YouTube. So if all of those companies go under or decide to like kick us off or whatever it is, we can do nothing about that. But what we do have is our mailing list, and we do own that. And the people that are signing up are saying, we want to hear from you, whether it's from your church or from the business that you're running, whatever it is that you're doing. Those people on your mailing list are saying, we want to be with you. Now, this class is not on building a mailing list. That's a whole other conversation. Which maybe we can have eventually, but not today. So you're gonna choose your communication channels. I would recommend 3. More you start to kind of stress out. Now there are some people who are able to do just all of the channels. I'm not one of them. I started out with like 2, and then I added 1, and now I think I've got 4. So my website is my home base, and I focus on my email. I focus on Instagram is where I hang out most. I have my Facebook author page that I'm on. I'm pretty active on that. And then the podcast. So I have 4 communication channels that I'm working on, and you can access those things from my website as well. So communication channels, if you have not started an email list, I would say do it. Let that be one of the ones that you choose. Other channel options that are out there are blogs, vlogging, or video world content. Video is huge. It is not going anywhere at all. Fun fact for you, YouTube is the second largest search engine out there. Google is the first, and YouTube is the second. YouTube is this interesting beast where it's social media, but it's a search engine. It's like a video content search engine. So it's this hybrid mix. Anyway, it is a fantastic video is a great way to be able to reach, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Other communication channels, podcasts is like having an online radio show. It's a lot of fun. There is a learning curve. My podcast partner, Steph, really, I show up and talk, honestly. Like, she has done all of that research, but it is amazing. It's an amazing platform, and we really enjoy doing it. SMS or texting is another option for you to get into. There are some companies that you could do a Google search of text messaging systems for my company, and look into that if that's something that you are interested in. Now, printing material, we're not seeing a whole lot of printed material really for advertising things anymore. But if you have a local shop, a brick and mortar building, or if you're handing out flyers for an event, those are types of communication channels, and you may use them at various times. When we're looking specifically at social media, where do you go there? What do you choose? And that can be intimidating. So my answer to that is, well, where is your audience? Where are they at? And then go there, focus on there. Please don't feel like you have to do every single social platform out there. That is truly, truly exhausting. So I would say, let's look at some of the main ones: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok, Snapchat, and let's take a second and look at them. For Facebook, when I taught this course year or 2 ago, it was like 7 out of 10 people had Facebook. And now it's more like 8 out of 10 people have Facebook. So Facebook is a pretty safe space to go ahead and start dabbling in social media. We're looking at a wide range of ages, 18 to 65. Although I will say we can't spend a whole lot of time on this because we gotta move. Different generations use Facebook differently. Our younger generation, so if you're in a market that's targeting younger people, they're using a lot of groups, a lot of the DMs. They're scrolling. They're not like posting a whole lot. They're kind of using it just for the groups, the click groups, the niche groups. Whereas older generations, we're posting pictures, we're scrolling, commenting on things, we're using it in just in a different way. So keep that in mind. There's some research and resources that I have put at the end of this so that you can kind of look at that if you were interested in learning more about that. In church world, we're dealing with about 5 to 6 generations. And so I love knowing what the different generations, how they communicate. It helps me do my job better. And you might be in that boat. So Instagram, most of their followers are women. It's a very visual platform, a lot of pics and short video clips, although there are some longer ones. Instagram released Reels, which is very much like TikTok or YouTube Shorts. And so it's their video platform. And I play a lot with Reels, and we'll talk about why in a minute. Twitter, 25% are women, 22% are men, and ages, you can see how they vary there. Twitter seems to be more of like sharing info or tips, instructional and informative. I have a Twitter account. I pulled away. It's not where I focus. Pinterest has actually seen an uptick in people posting content, how-tos, DIY recipes. I personally use it for recipes. I used to use it for crafts, but now it's like recipes, and I'll even go on for like communication tips, like seeing kind of what's going on there. So I even use it in my job. TikTok is coming on the scene, and I don't know if it's going anywhere anytime soon. It's huge. It's exploding. Teens to 20s, although the age group is just growing. I know several women who we would consider senior adults who are on TikTok. It's fun. It's addicting. Be careful with that. But there are several businesses jumping on board. Even churches are jumping on board with TikTok and sharing, messages of hope. So TikTok, Snapchat. We use it in our family just for fun filters. We don't use it as a communication channel. It's just kind of fun to see what's going on there. Teens to 30s, it's quick, short messages. It's good for sharing style, little stories, daily inspiration. So that could be maybe something that you're interested in. So here's a quick overview of the social channels. Remember, you're going to be picking 3 of them where to focus. Look where your audience is at, and then go there. Now, after you have, answered the questions about your audience and you've picked your 3 social channels, or your marketing channels, one of which I really hope is email. I'm going to push that. The next is to actually create a calendar, a schedule of sorts of when you're going to post, what you're going to post. You might be like, Hannah, I'm so busy. I work all the time. How do I post all these things? It's okay. It's all right. There are some things that can post for you. You can pre-schedule these like Hootsuite or Buffer. Facebook actually allows you to schedule posts ahead of time. So when I'm going on vacation, or if it's a day that I'm off and I know that a post has to be made, I'm able to often set those things to post, automatically while I'm away. But I do want to ask a few questions to have you consider. Give me a second. You're going to actually write down and decide, how often do you want to post and communicate? Is it daily? Is it 3 times a week? Is it 5 times a week? You get to decide that. So it doesn't seem there are some people who post multiple times a day. That's not my game. There are some companies that works for. That's not me. You need to decide what will work for you, what is sustainable for you. You might be like, I'm going to do this 7 days a week, but is that sustainable? For me, my goal as an author is, can I post 3 to 5 times a week? That is my goal. If I get more, that is awesome. If for some reason, life goes crazy and I get 2 posts that week, I'm going to show myself some grace. I used to be very hard on myself. And so give yourself the freedom to be like, you know what? This week I did it. Next week, oh man, I blew it. Whatever it was. So give yourself some grace, but decide, how many times are you going to work to post? And then how often do you want to send an email? Some people send it weekly, some daily. I find daily really annoying. Some are twice a month, some are once a month. I shoot for once a month. In author world, sometimes twice if I have a promotion coming up, or a new book or an announcement. In church world, we do a weekly email. Our pastor sends out an email basically every Friday. So decide, when do you want to do that? And then remember, what are you offering? What value are you offering? So with an email, what message am I delivering? What am I offering them? And what I'm posting, what am I offering? Is it funny? Is it going to make them laugh? Is it going to inspire them? Is it going to encourage them? Is it going to teach them how to make something? Like, what am I offering? And the next part is to write this plan out on a calendar. Work to stick to it. Give yourself grace when life goes crazy. And I will say this, it's also okay to take breaks from social media. I schedule 3 to 4 breaks a year. I'm actually going to be going on break here really soon just to unplug and get away for a little bit. It's okay. If you lose followers, okay, you lose followers. Focus on the ones that you do have, the ones that stayed. So allow yourself to take a break. An example template that if you're like, okay, this sounds great, but how do I even get started? Feel free to screenshot this, save it, check it out. Here's just an example that you might want to stick to. Say you're going to focus on Facebook and Instagram. You could post behind the scenes, how something's made, the process of a product being made. Sometimes I'll post pictures of me about to write or my writing notes, or like at church on Sunday, I'll do behind the scenes in the media tech booth area, people drinking coffee, just kind of behind the scenes things. On Monday, could you ask a question? On Tuesday, this could be a self promo, a time that you are promoting yourself or someone else using your product or reading the book that you wrote or whatever that may be. Wednesday could be an inspirational quote. Thursday, you could share about your life, like what's for dinner, what your dog is doing, what kind of coffee you're drinking, something kind of personal there. Friday, ask another question or make it funny, do a poll. Saturday, you could even repost something that you thought was interesting and just share other people's content. It's always great to share what others in your industry are doing, or maybe something that you just thought was really cool and you just wanted to share it. For my author page, I'll kind of show you what I kind of keep to or work to keep to. On Sundays, I'm off or I'll repost something. On Monday, I work to have a podcast promo. Tuesday, I'm either off or reposting. Wednesday, I'm doing an Instagram reel, and you can kind of see what I'm saying there. Thursday, off or reposting. Friday, I'm doing some kind of behind the scenes, a fun post. It could be a poll. Saturday, I'm reposting or I'm off. So you can see a lighter schedule, but I'm a mom, I'm a wife. I work a full-time job. I write, full-time. So I'm juggling all these things. And this is the schedule that helps me. Church, you can see kind of what we got going on here, what we're doing. Feel free to screenshot that, but take a moment, write that out. My freebie that I offer will help you do this, but take time and write out your plan. Now we're going to talk about creating content that connects and engages with your audience. And you have what you need, honestly, right here. You got a phone, a smartphone, and video clips that you take, the pictures you take, that's your content. That's your content. It doesn't have to be fancy by any stretch of the imagination. You have what you need right there. Now, if you're looking for other type of things, I really recommend Canva. I can't say that enough. I do their monthly, like their paid version, and I think it's less than $13 a month. It might be right around $13. It is worth every penny. You can make carousel posts. Those are the posts that scroll. That gets some great engagement, by the way. You can drop videos in and make reels and videos for any social platform. It will create social posts for you that are literally for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Like, it will have all of those sizes for you. So it really is fantastic. Content that engages, video is really the biggest one. I'm going to show you the power of video. You need to screenshot and zoom in. Just this past 30 days, I have reached over 88,000 people. Videos. That's it. Just random little videos. So you can see, and compared to here are my, my posts, and then the stories, the videos just are next level. And they're nothing. Like, one of them is me creating a tomato basil salad, and I posted that. Another is our trip to Gatlinburg. One is me writing. Another is me, scriptures that we're referencing. And I'm just doing quick little video clips and posting them. And it's allowing people to see it at a greater rate than what just a regular post would be. Amazing. Check that out. Content that engages, user-generated content. I just told you, use your phone, take those pictures, post those little video clips. Those get engagement. Stay tuned type of post, like, hey, coming soon, or stay tuned for our latest, whatever. Stay tuned type of post engage. Inspirational quotes and memes all day long. Those are so much fun and lighthearted. The world can just be really heavy. So if you can make someone laugh, do it. Helping content, advice, tips, tricks, how-tos, post those things. And you could, it's simple things. Like I was just saying, I posted a tomato basil salad thing and to teach people how to make that. And it just got a lot of views. Stories really do engage. Tell stories of maybe the people, your clients, about them at church. Maybe highlight a volunteer or someone who was recently baptized, or, you know, a review that someone has posted. So share a story. We have a group here in town, organization called Yay Pack, and they do a beautiful job telling stories. The people that they help serve in the community, they'll take a picture and post a little bit about their story, and it's beautiful. Like I can't stop reading those things. So those engage. Continued engagement type of post, asking questions. They can be serious or funny. Remember, with marketing, you really are building community. So if you're selling books, don't think that you have to post only questions about books, right? People are more than just what they read. You really are connecting with you. You're building a friendship. Ask a variety of questions. I actually have 30 recommendations for you that I put together for you to have free soon. There are also seasonal types of posts, fun posts like trivia, would you rather, this or that, eliminate one, the best of whatever. You can use those throughout the year, or you can use them seasonally. So for example, for Christmas, we might post something like, what's the best Christmas carol, and give them some options, or this or that. Would you rather have gingerbread or, I don't know, snickerdoodle, or would you rather have a Christmas party with 100 people, or just a small gathering, like whatever that is there. So take time, have fun with that. Do a giveaway, sneak peeks, whatever product that you have, you could do like you kind of opening the box or a part of that product, little sneak peeks. Also, give glimpses into your family time or behind the scenes, how something is done. Those types of things engage. So if you visit hannahRconway.com/questions, I do have 30 type of engagement posts for you for free. Check those out. You can take it or leave it, or use them to let them inspire you to make your own post. Have fun with that. Learn from others. Like what are they doing? What do you like about what they're doing? How can you put your own twist on it? Take time to really look through others' accounts and see what you enjoy and make it your own. Is it stealing? Does that make you feel guilt? No, like you're learning from others, right? They're teaching you, and you're being inspired by what they're doing, and then you're making that your own. Really quick, we are running out of time. I was hoping to be able to do this quicker. Tactics, tricks, and tips to nourish social algorithms. The 1 in 5 rule, or the 80-20 rule. So 1 in 5 of your posts or emails should be blatantly advertising or marketing or selling. So that means 80% of the time there's no advertising, 20% of the time there is. This helps us build community and not feel salesy. Hashtag. With Facebook, you can use fewer hashtags. That seems to be a thing. Instagram, you can use more. There's some people who are like, hashtags don't work. Some people are like, hashtags are amazing. I land in the middle. I mix it up. Sometimes I have hashtags. Sometimes I don't. You can get to decide. But those are some tips and tricks there with posting. Repeat equals defeat. So with social media, with marketing, you want to stop the scroll. When people are scrolling on their phone, you want them to stop. And how do you do that? With design, with color, with a question. You can keep the content the same, right? Like you don't always repeat the content, but you want to stop what they're doing to catch their attention. The longer you can get them to stay on your post or on your video, social media platforms are counting that. They're counting those seconds like that, and it will help you get a further reach. So stop the scroll. Respond. When people comment, do your best to not just like or give a thumbs up to a post or heart a post. With Facebook, actually give another response, give a heart, give a hug, give us something instead of just a thumbs up, or do your best to actually comment back to each person. Sometimes that can be overwhelming if you're like, what if I get 30 comments? do your best, right? But if they see you interacting on those posts, they will help, the algorithms will help boost it more. Use the mediums that the social media platforms are offering. So any graphics, backgrounds, the Facebook Lives, Reels, any polls, whatever they offer, use their tools. They like that. And then limit selfies. Though we see a lot of selfies, and that's fine. It's okay to post pictures of yourself. Absolutely. We want to show people life from our point of view. So it's like we're inviting them in to this journey with us. So post selfies, that's fine, but just kind of keep an eye on that. If people just see you posting about yourself all the time, then there's no room for them, right? You've got all you need with just yourself. So videos are a little different because sometimes you are just filming your face, right? So think about the content that you're offering there. If it's not a post just about you and how awesome you are in the product, it's that you're offering them something. All right, resources. We are wrapping it up. Several resources here. Screenshot this. These little nuggets here are some of my favorite pro church tools with Brady Shearer. Yes, it focuses on church communication, but this just crosses over into every area. If you want to learn more about communication, check out Brady Shearer. He's a YouTube channel, a podcast. Absolutely amazing. Instagram, Brock Johnson is someone I follow. Great content, great tips on how to do this whole world, right? Canva, BookBrush for authors looking for graphics in that area. And then some books to kind of help you out here. Generational IQ. This will help you learn about the different generations and how to communicate with them. So if you're into politics, if you're into full-time ministry, whatever, and you're needing to learn about the different generations, this is it. Nona Jones has a book that I adore called From Social Media to Social Ministry. I'm very much like social media is a ministry, and she is too. This book is fabulous. It's amazing. If you are looking to learn more about communication and marketing and this whole world, because it does change, YouTube is a great resource. We laugh and call it YouTube University. Go to YouTube. It's a search engine. Ask those questions. How do I create an email newsletter? How do I learn to use TikTok? How do I look for those things and look for videos that are less than a year old, especially in this area, because it changes so quickly. This content, you want newer content. So if you're asking those questions on YouTube, look how old the video is and try to get the newest video. And again, grab those 30 free engagement post ideas, take them, make them for yourself. I've had a great time with you guys. We're getting ready to do a Q&A session, but first, a quick video.
Thank you so much. What joy. In just a second, we're going to have a Q&A session here with a speaker. But I want to remind you to take a moment and invite a friend. We are live right now on YouTube, and there's just a lot of encouraging stuff here. Plus, even if it's toward the end, you just want her to be able to go back with you and catch any of the sessions that you missed and look forward to those that are still coming. Also, don't forget to grab your free swag gifts. So much great stuff. We're so excited that you've chosen to join us for the Best You 2022 Virtual Summit. My name is Marnie Swedberg, and I am a missions ministry mentor. You can learn more about that as well at the top bar at Best You 2022. And right now, it's time for us to have Q&A.
All right. If you have questions, drop those in. I'm going to take the ones that I have right now, and let's see here. Which social media platforms are best to use? And again, it depends. It depends on who your target audience is. Where are they at? So go back through this video, pause it, take a look on that area where I have all of the social platforms listed in the stats there, and let that be a deciding factor for you. Facebook is a great place to start. It again, about 8 out of 10 people do have a Facebook account. And so that is a pretty general place to start for you. Okay. Another caveat here is you're like, what if I don't like social media? I hear you. I hear you. So pick one and let that be Facebook. Where do I find inspiration for content to post or offer? So I hear this too, as a person who's creating content nearly on the daily for a variety of things, you can kind of have a brain drain. And so I would really recommend I would recommend first the engagement posts that I've offered for free, right? I've offered that for free for you. Check that out and make those your own. Sometimes we just need to see what others are doing to spark ideas of our own. And often, no kidding, like full transparency, I will Google social media ideas for, Psalm 23 or whatever it is. And I'll Google and I'll just take some time scrolling through, and then I'll start playing on Canva to get those ideas. There's also several groups on Facebook for marketing media communication. So take a second, go on Facebook and look up, communications marketing for, whatever business that you're in. I'm personally in church communication marketing groups, and we share ideas, and it's good to have that iron sharpens iron. That helps. Next question. Will my media marketing plan need to change? Probably. Probably. With social media, it changes often. I know that can be exhausting. And here's the thing. We don't need to chase the latest platform. If that is fun for you, do it. Have fun with that. Focus in on a couple of areas. You want to be excellent in those areas. You don't constantly just want to be all over the place. Focus in. But yes, from time to time, reevaluate. Well, what's working? What's not? Look at what is great about social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. They give you, and even YouTube, they give you analytics so that you are able to see what posts are performing the best. And it's funny because I will make some content. I'm like, this is going to just be amazing. Like, people are going to love this. It's going to get so many likes, so many shares, and it doesn't. And I'm like, what in the world? So what I'm able to do is go back and look at what posts have performed well, and then replicate that. Do a post that's similar. And the people, the audience, they're the ones that are telling me what it is that they like. And isn't that what we're doing? We're doing customer service. They're telling me what they're like. It's not necessarily what Hannah likes. And that's sad because, some of the posts I really wish that they would like. All right. Let's see. I've got a few more going over here. Here's one. This is fun. How do I organize my content or ideas for content? Okay, y'all. Your calendar. You're going to need to write it down. Recently, I think just today, actually, I posted what my office looks like. I have to print out calendars and I put them on the wall. I literally have like the year on my wall, and I'm writing things on it. So that may not be how your brain works, but I'm going to suggest that you write out what you're doing. Some people use Google Forms or Google Sheets to keep track of that. So I will write mine out, and then I actually on my phone in my notes section, I don't know if you guys can see, I have all of these different categories for my social, and I kind of keep track of things there. That way I can see what posts I've done. I even house hashtag groups. If I get an idea for a post, I'll put it in my notes, and it's just in its own little folder. So those are things that have worked for me. And hopefully that will work for you. So social media changes all the time. How do I keep up? Kind of hit on that a little bit. It does. And here's the truth. You probably are not going to be able to keep up full speed. It changes all the time. Algorithms change. It feels like constantly, like one post will do amazing, and then I'll post something similar and it does half as amazing. So just know that this is a roller coaster. It's going. And that is where tips like following others who I have recommended, it's looking at those YouTube videos that are less than a year old. It really is seeing what is performing and just doing that, and understand that it's just like that. Okay. Don't stress yourself out though, trying to keep up. If you're feeling overwhelmed, pull back. Focus in on that one thing. Focus in just on that one media platform. Okay. Where do you learn more about media marketing? I mean, you could go to school for this. I'm pursuing a master's in strategic communication, but you don't have to do that. Again, that is those resources. You're seeking out those answers. YouTube really is. I joke all the time. I'm like, oh, I learned that from YouTube University, and that's maybe YouTube should start a university. But I'm going there. I'm looking for that content of others in my area. I'm finding those newer videos, and then trying. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'll keep going, right? Oh, this one. If I'm trying to grow followers, on how many followers on social media, is it okay to pay for followers through a company? All right. No. Like, okay, that sounds judgy of me. If you can avoid that, avoid that. There's a lot of scammers out there, right? So you could be giving your money to a company who's promising 1,000 followers or 200,000 followers or 1 million followers, and are they real? I don't know. So there's a lot of scamming going on there. Another thing is that seems deceptive to me. You want an authentic growth. So whether it's you've got one follower or you're up to 550,000 followers, whatever that is, grow authentically. And it's okay to grow slow. I've had to teach myself that. I want to hurry and get there, right? But growing slow really is completely okay. What do I do if I'm feeling exhausted by media marketing? Pull back. Pull back. Take breaks. It is okay. Again, if you lose followers, focus on the ones that are there. That they're your people, right? So focus on them. Take breaks. You might be into too many marketing, communication channels. So hone in. All right. Here's a good one. What if the company I work for doesn't see a need to have a media marketing strategy or even a media presence? So, um, in my world, in church world, I'm fortunate enough, our church definitely sees a need for this. But I do know that there are some churches that are like, oh, we're not going to mess with that. And so here's my answer to that. It's where the people are. It's where the people are. So that's where we go. Like, that's my simplest explanation there, is to just let your boss know, whatever company that you're working with, is this is where the people are, and we want to connect with them. So if that helps you, I hope that it does. If you would like to talk more about that, I know that could maybe be a sensitive topic and you're like, I don't know how to bring that up. Shoot me a message, find me on Instagram, shoot me a message, and we can talk about that. I've got some data, some stats. I'm a fan of data and stats. So check that out. How do I get people to subscribe to my mailing list? Oh my goodness, this is such a fun question. So that takes time. You remember how I was telling you guys that the top 3 ways to market is word of mouth, is email, is social media, and or texting, right? So all of those things kind of go together in this question here. I have grown my mailing list. It's been slow to grow, but we're doing that. And you grow by giveaways. Like, hey, sign up for my mailing list and I can give you a giveaway, or offer some incentive, right? Often they'll like your content and they will sign up. Facebook ads, I will tell you, has been one of the best ways that I have grown my mailing list. That is a whole other rabbit hole that we could get into. Learning Facebook ads. Oh, I will say this. So if you hear me say this and you're like, oh, I'm going to go run a Facebook ad and grow my mailing list, do not boost your post. Facebook will be like, hey, boost your post and you'll get more people. You'll get more views, but it's like a shotgun blast. So it will just go out to everyone. You want to be able to target what you're doing there. So do some research, go to YouTube University, do some research on growing your mailing list through Facebook ads. I truly, last summer, I tried it and I gained over 1,000 followers within an 8-week span with just Facebook ads. So check that out. And I just answered the question. How do I learn more about email marketing? YouTube University. If you do need printed material for your business, where do you go to have them printed? So you can design everything in Canva. Literally, like for church and for different area ministries that we have, I will design things in Canva. And I, even author world, like bookmarks that I'm doing, I'll design it in Canva. And Uprinting is a company that I use a lot. And then Vistaprint. I'm a very big fan of coupons. So you can find some good coupons for Vistaprint, some sales, and that's what I would recommend. Now, we often try to help out local businesses. So look at local print places that you have. And we have one called Copies in a Flash. We also have an Office Depot that have done work for us, and we love it. So I'm going to check really quick. Do we have any other questions? I think we're good. All right. It has been an absolute joy being with you here today. I'm going to switch back over and bring this back up again before we close out. I would love for you to connect with me. Yes, I'd love for you to join my mailing list. You can hop over to hannahrconway.com, sign up. You actually will get a digital copy of one of my books that I've written. Which one is it? Check it out. It'll send you one. And then find me on Instagram, Facebook. I am mostly on Instagram. Hang out with me. Check out our podcast, What's Your Story with Hannah and Stephanie. Again, if you have any questions, shoot them to me. I would love to hear from you. You guys have been wonderful. God bless you all. There we go. Have a great day.